Go through my week 6 homework assignment, creating the war game. So to start, I started with the deck class. This is just building the deck of cards. Um, so I did this with the constructor, and this deck is an empty array. And then I set the suits and the values here. And then I use this loop here, the for of loop, to go through the suits and the values, and each time it pushes a new instance of card, which I'll define down below, um, by adding the suit and the value together. Then I set a shuffle function here, by looping through the deck with the Fisher-Yates shuffle. It was really interesting. So after I shuffled the deck, I set the draw card function, which will pop the first card from the array of cards that are shuffled. And then is empty is like the state of the deck when there's nothing drawn from the deck. Then for the card class, I set the value in the suit, and then I set the toString function to concatenate the card value and the suit. And then I set the player class to have the name of the players, so the player can have their name set. And the deck is an empty array, and their points are set to 0, so we can have an adder later on to add up all the points. And then to add to deck, we pushed a new card, and then to add a point, we used the addition by 1 method. And then war actually contains the game itself. So we set a new instance of deck, and then 2 new players, player 1 and player 2. And there's no winner at the time, so we deal cards. So we shuffle the deck, and then while the deck is null, or not null, while the deck is in play, the cards will be added to each player's individual deck. So we play around. We set card 1 and card 2 to the card that each player pulls, and then we concatenate it by using this template literal with each player and the card that they pull. So the console will print that. So here's the actual logic itself. So if the card values are the same, no one gets a point. If card 1, which is player 1's card, is higher than player 2's card, the console will print that player wins. That player receives the cards, and a point is added. And vice versa, if player 2's card is larger than player 1's card, then player 2 actually found an error here, so we're going to do the value. So if the player, this is also an extension of once each player has no cards left in their deck, the opposite is the winner. And then this further extends that logic by if the player 1 is required to have more cards than player 2 and have a total of 52 cards, and that will make player 1 the winner, vice versa if player 2 has more cards, then they are the winner. To actually play the game, we deal the cards, and then loop while there's no winner, and play this function here, which is the actual game. And then once there is a winner, and this becomes false, the winner will be concatenated and the amount of cards that they have will be printed. And then we initialize the game here. But that is all. I'm still like working out a few things. I need to work on this here, but for now it runs. And that's all. Thank you.